Welcome to my mood court. I do thank the mothers and the grandmothers of this land, and specifically of this place, the mothers and the grandmothers of the ages, of many times and places, who have spoken to me in some deep way, beyond my knowing. Restoring goddess, for me, means restoring a sense of she to the cosmos, restoring female sacrality to the particular small self to begin with, to other, and to all that is. Restoring her as a language, image, and word for the creative dynamic that unfolds the universe. As Elizabeth Cady Stanton said, well over 100 years ago, it is not female biology that has betrayed us. It is the stories and the myths that we have come to believe about ourselves. Most religious stories that most on the globe grew up with at this time did not have the female in careful mind. Most world religions still specifically story the female as problematic to creation or to enlightenment or to whatever, or at least secondary. Some are clever enough to attempt to disguise it. The term God still commonly invokes the face of ultimate reality, the absolute. The term goddess still overwhelmingly invokes a mere mythological entity. Goddess, or God, is metaphor, poetic image, suggesting a likeness of femaleness or maleness in the deity or the sacred. According to the Webster's Dictionary, a metaphor is a word or phrase used to suggest a likeness. Goddess is a figure of speech suggesting a likeness of femaleness in the sacred or the deity. Few would argue with that, though many do argue that the term God does not suggest a likeness of maleness in the sacred or deity, that it or he is neutral, or may represent both, whereas goddess may not. Some cultures don't need the word God, nor do some need the word goddess. Because in such cultures, female sacrality is not a problem. Femaleness in such cultures is understood to embody transformatory powers, and thus the very nature or essence of the cosmos. Birthing, lactating, conceiving, gestating are transformatory powers, and all genders in such cultures find purpose in supporting regenerative capacities. Theology was meant to be poetry. What else could it be, as it attempted to describe ultimate reality or ultimate creativity? But most theology has ended up a description of a dead butterfly pinned in a glass case, not one that is alive and flitting about the garden in the act of being. I prefer the term cosmology. It is a study of our place, which is dynamic, a verb, not a noun. It is an event. I understand myself as a student of the poetry of the universe. Poetry is a language of goddess. The texts that we choose for our lives create the texture, the context. When we choose a story for our lives, or accept a prescribed one, it lives us. There is a cosmology in our everyday speech and action. Restoring Goddess and celebrating her in seasonal moments may participate in the process of scribing oneself, authoring oneself at the deepest level, and storying the universe as she. What would happen then if the universe was storied as she? What difference might it make to the world that we live in? When I speak of Goddess, I mean her as a totality, not as a feminine part of the sacred. Goddess may be metaphor for ultimate creativity, this sacred cosmos, and in three qualities of her unfolding, her cosmogenesis: ever new, differentiated being, infinite full communion or relatedness, and constant transformation within her sentient self. She may be storied to that integrity in our hearts and minds. Then one enters the richness and magic of this dynamic of creativity, who is embodied and embedded in all being. She is the seamless sacred matter, Mother Materia, Madre, whom we are.